15 seconds. I know. Anyway. Hello everyone and welcome to my stream with today's guest, my friend Hexy.
Indeed I am, yeah, so the background is Gerald
who is also a very
from the
gamer.
Witcher series of
as you can see on the background,
games,
he's usually
before
playing
that
The Witcher.
is from the book series written by the Polish author Andrzej Szakowski. So started with books, went on to computer games, and then went on to the Netflix TV series, and well, on it goes.
Of course. And my background shows the new game Genshin Impact that is going to be released very soon. I'm very much looking forward to that game and seeing how that turns out. Yeah, basically that's what I'm looking forward to. But we are here today to talk about the new video cards from NVIDIA that have recently been announced. The Ampere, yes. I've started the special event video on the background also, so we can follow it with us.
Yeah, I saw the introduction made by the NVIDIA CEO Jensen.
Video as well.
Yes,
what do you think about
it's
those
really an impressive showcase
cards?
of the new generation of Turing of the NVIDIA cards. I mean, looking at the lineup, we start with the 3070, go up with the 3080, and they end up with 3090. And from get-go, you could really see that NVIDIA means business with the new lineup, and they are taking no hostages in a sense. You know, it's really a strong showing from NVIDIA compared to the previous gen of video cards. Yeah, I'm quite impressed what they managed for.
Yeah. So was I, especially when you see that on the video here, that the enormous jump that they took with the technology.
Indeed, yes.
Which is second generation at this point. And yeah, according to those, it's actually a giant leap forward in video cards.
Indeed, and not only do they have a revamped architecture and a revamped instruction set for the CUDA cores, but they also support the later specification of the HDMI and DisplayPort as well, with a higher bandwidth on the HDMI and DisplayPort connector as well, to allow for 4K and even in the 3090 8K gaming. NVIDIA showcased 8K gaming for some select YouTubers at the NVIDIA headquarters. And
yes, that is also showcased in this video from NVIDIA special event. So yeah, I was very happy to see it. Wow, what a good lineup those video cards are.
Yeah, so we start from the cheapest one and go upwards. I mean, so the first lineup is the 3070 video card being showcased from NVIDIA.
No, it's the 3080, how do they call it? The parade horse of the leading video card, and the 3080.
Oh, and the most anticipated card as well, of course.
Yeah.
But it's not the entry point though in the lineup.
No, it's not.
It would be the 3070 card.
No. The entry point for the 30 series is indeed the 3070. And according to this video, it's even outperforms the 2080 Ti.
Yes, indeed it does. To a lower price point as well.
Yes. Wow. Yes, but yeah, I was really surprised at the price point for all of those cards. I was expecting a price increase in every section. The 3070, 3080, and 3090.
I was indeed also surprised with the low price point set by NVIDIA. If you look back to the introduction of the current generation, the 2000 series from NVIDIA,
Yeah.
the price point was set a lot higher at introduction for the 2070 and 2080 and the and of course the 2090 doesn't exist. Then we have the Titan, of course.
Yeah.
But for the 2060, 2070, 2080, the price point was set a lot higher at introduction for those cards compared to
Yes.
what we see today with the Ampere generation with the cards. So yeah, I was positively surprised to see that
Yeah.
they have competitive pricing
Yeah.
on those cards.
Yeah.
Uh,
And
but
I was also surprised because of that giant leap in technology that at least what they showcased it shows a lot of increase in FPS play for all of the games that support this all of this technology.
Well, of course, I mean, we'll see a huge jump in performance when you use ray tracing and DLSS,
Yeah.
as showcased now in the presentation by NVIDIA. So
Yeah.
it's a huge improvement of performance using ray tracing and DLSS. But
Yeah.
also, if you turn that off as just raw performance for those cards in games that does not support those features set, even there you see a huge increase in performance at a base level. So yeah, that's really interesting to see as well. That not
Yeah.
only with ray tracing and DLSS that the performance has gone up, but also the native performance as such is not twice as what we used to see as well.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a huge leap forward indeed.
Yeah, I'm very much looking forward to it in these coming months. I already have some sort of game rig in mind, but I will talk about that later. This is still it's still very impressive that that these cards are going to be on the market very soon. So
Yeah, it's not what you call a paper, a delivery now from NVIDIA, meaning that they have a new generation of cards on paper only to be released at a later stage. It's interesting to see that they are actually having a release date where it's on market
yeah,
this month, actually, for two of those cards, two out of three cards will be on market this month.
yeah,
And obviously those cards will be the 3080 and the 3090 card will be coming this month
yes,
according to the presentation.
that's true. Yes, in this presentation, it is confirmed that the 2080 will be at September 17th, and the 3090 will be September 24th, I believe.
24th, yes, I think it was
Yes.
24th, yes. Which is impressive that they actually have them made and are able to deliver it that soon, just
Yeah.
after presentation of the new architecture. So
Yeah. Yeah.
it's indeed a strong showing from NVIDIA, showing that not only do they present the new architecture, new technology, but they also have it ready
Yeah.
for delivery to all
Yeah.
eager gamers out there that want
Yes.
some extra performance in the computers.
Exactly. So that is something to look forward to indeed. So and the other features that come with also come with the new 30 generation. For instance, the green screen effect.
That is something extra, yes.
Yes, that is something extra that is very exciting to look forward to, because for starting streamers, it's not really feasible to have, not always, by the way, to have a green screen behind them to set up first. It's quite a large investment on their part.
Yeah, and not only is that a really useful feature, but they're also adding extra performances for decoding and encoding video as well in hardware. An upgrade on the current and existing generation that
Yeah.
the video performance is also upgraded.
Yeah.
And also for creation as well, using CUDA cores for
Content
3D
creation,
creation.
yes.
Yes, it's also improved for those that want to create new games or create new multimedia, so on,
Yeah.
layovers and so on. All that performance is increased as well
Yeah.
on your cards. So yeah, it's
Yeah.
really impressive.
Yeah, I think so too, especially with like I said before, that giant leap in technology, because according to this presentation, it is indeed a giant leap forward. That is usually we haven't seen this kind of leap in the past before. It
No,
always
it was a long
was.
time since. Yes,
It was
we
always
saw.
small steps upwards, and not such a giant leap as this.
No, the last time we saw a leap like this in performance was when we saw the 10th generation coming out compared to the previous generation, where the GTX 1080, 1070 took a huge leap forward in terms of performance compared to the previous generation. And if you're going to see even go back further than that, of course, in history, we can go, for instance, back to GTX 295 and so on, basically back time in 5-6 years ago, at the very least, when
Yeah,
NVIDIA
that's a
took such a
200
leap.
series.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but that's time
that's
ago since.
yeah.
So yeah, NVIDIA clearly means business. And also interesting to see that they have actually improved the DLSS feature as well to
Yeah,
use
but
AI
yeah,
and drivers to actually upscale and improve and fill in details that did not exist, in the game,
yeah.
uh, by using data centers in the background to
Hmm.
actually upscale and draw the graphics at super high resolution. And
Yeah,
then, of course, against implementation, they scale it down and present it to your video card using drivers and using AI to improve the graphics while you're playing as well.
yeah, indeed. That is very clever, by the way, I think.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to these cards.
So the price point set for each card was, if you start from the cheapest one and go upwards. So the 3070 price point was set at $499.
$499.
Yes.
Yeah,
Uh,
US dollars,
yeah,
indeed.
US dollars, and that is for the NVIDIA Founders Edition. And we're not talking third party here. We're talking just the NVIDIA Founders Edition,
Yeah,
as seen
yeah,
from NVIDIA
yeah,
themselves.
yeah, 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 yeah.
And then the 3080 price point set at $699.
Yes,
Dollars.
yes.
Again, Founders Edition from NVIDIA. And then lastly, of course, but not the least, the 3090. And I think the price point was set at $1,400.
1499.
1499, yes,
Yes,
for that card.
which is also a giant leap lower than the previous Titan card, because the Titan card was 2,500 US dollars
For one card, yes.
for one card. Yes,
Yeah.
so that's something also that is up for discussion. The price points. Um, I was expecting actually the 30 series to be more expensive than the 20 series to begin with, because that's always also what we saw in the past. So all those steps were higher,
Yeah, yeah,
and
indeed.
now they
So
took a drop in price. So I was wondering what that was about actually.
I think it's to include more gamers to be able to afford upgrades and so on, and
Mm,
actually sell out the existing generation video card as well, because as remember, I think a year ago, 2 years ago, they were overflowing the market with video cards. Nobody bought them, so the market got saturated with the 2000 series video card with too
yeah,
many out there and so on. People didn't buy it.
yeah,
So I guess it's a way to actually get rid of existing cards
yeah,
in favor for the new cards and allow players to afford an upgrade to buy them. And so
yeah.
I think it's a clever thing to do, to actually put them at that price range. But again, we need to wait and see for the third-party manufacturers to see what price point they will land at.
Yeah,
About Gigabyte, we talk about Asus,
yeah,
MSI,
MSI, yeah,
and Gigabyte, and so on, so forth.
yeah,
All the third-party vendors. What price point they will be landing at, and of course, if they will have the same in in really clever cooling system as well.
Yeah,
On their
because
cards.
they will be using custom coolers, and also a custom PCB.
Yeah, custom PCB indeed.
Yeah,
Yes.
so they will design it themselves and sell it off as their own. But that's understandable, and yeah, just to have more players on the market that sell them.
Indeed, also, yeah. And also, of course, the new generation video card come with a different power connectors as well. So when you buy those new video card, you need to bear in mind that you need a adapter, power adapter, to actually connect the power to those video card.
Yes, but that is also for the Founders Edition.
Yes, for the Founders Edition, of course, and obviously at this point, I'm only talking about the Founders Edition because those are the only card that has been confirmed released this month.
Yeah,
The Founders Edition.
yeah,
Third party can come at any point after the announcement, I would imagine.
yeah,
But obviously, the only card we know about, the release date and so on, is the Founders Edition from NVIDIA.
yeah, yeah.
And those cards have a changed pin outlet for the power from the power supplies.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know if it's clever or not, but I'm not sure if the power cable is delivered in the box when
No,
the
you need to get that from your supply of your power supply to get the adapter for that.
Oh, that's not that difficult to do. Usually, when you have clean builds, you use custom cables anyway.
Use custom cables anyway. Yes, indeed. But it just bears in mind that you should know that it comes with a different pin outlet, of course, on
Yeah,
those
yeah,
cards.
yeah.
So for the 3080, it will have a 12-pin connector
Yes,
for the power,
yes,
and the existing generation, the 2080 Ti, I have an
yeah,
8+8 pin, of course. And of course the 2080 regular has an 8+6 pin. So the 3080 and 3090 will both have 12-pin
yeah,
outlet for that. So that is it's changing. What's changing also, of course, if you can see in the presentation, is the memory type used in the video card.
yeah,
You saw that as Rocco, yeah?
yeah. I do, but that's not up yet. Not to worry.
Uh,
They're still talking about ray tracing and
yeah.
how
So
that
ray tracing,
technology works, because
yeah.
they seem to be, according to this video in the presentation, they actually have reserved a separate section for that ray tracing, for the ray tracing calculations on the chip.
Indeed, they have, yes, and of course that means added CUDA cores as
Yeah,
well. Or um, if you talk about the CUDA cores, right? Of course, there are more CUDA cores, but they also used differently compared to the previous generation of video card as well.
yeah.
So even though you get more CUDA cores, they're being used differently.
Hmm.
And exactly how they're used, you can see also, of course, in detail in the presentation.
Yeah,
It is indeed a complete revamp of the GPU that they have done, and how they actually have specified usage of the CUDA cores
yeah.
in
I
the
think so
new
too.
version. Yeah,
So they have completely redesigned, perhaps, or repurposed all of the sections in the design for that ray tracing.
yeah,
So they
and
also explain it from the previous generation, from the 20 series, what the difference is.
yes. So
So
obviously, this time around they're talking about the teraflops, the
yeah,
calculation measured in teraflops,
hmm,
which they did it before, but for this generation they talk about, of course, the performance measured in teraflops. For the 3080, if I'm not mistaken, we're talking about 30 shader teraflops, 58 RT core teraflops, and 238 tensor teraflop.
yeah,
And of course, that's a part of the new architecture, how they have changed thing around, on the core itself, on the
yeah,
GPU itself.
yeah,
which was not done previously, of course.
No, it was not done previously because everything was stacked in that one core in the 20 series.
Yeah. So that means, of course, better utilization of the GPU as well, and it becomes more effective. What it's doing with calculating the graphics on your screen.
Yeah. I think it's very efficient because they actually separated a couple of processes from each place on the cores.
Indeed, yes.
So the load for those specific cores is not that high anymore.
No, but it's interesting to see though, if we should just calculate the amount of CUDA cores that it should be if you compare to the previous generation. So the 3080, if we do some calculations to it, it should have 8,704 CUDA cores on that video card. Which is a lot.
Definitely, it is a lot. And you're not even talking about the 3090 card.
No, we're talking about the most popular card, the 3080, which will probably be the one that most people are buying in the end, would be the 3080. And if we compare that to the highest performing card today, the RTX 2080 Ti, that card have 4,352 CUDA cores.
Yeah, that's basically almost twice the amount.
Almost twice the amount,
the amount, yeah. I believe in the presentation it was 1.9 times as much.
Yeah,
just below
it
2.
Was indeed. Yeah. And obviously, if we then look at the 3090, like I mentioned, it has staggering 10,496 CUDA cores.
And that's the 3090. Oh my god, that's insane. That's completely insane.
I mean, the performance on the 3090 is just through the roof. I mean, not only does it have 10,496 CUDA cores, it also comes delivered with 24 gigabytes of graphics VRAM, GDDR6X memory specified at almost 20,000 megahertz video memory, video speed, or the speed of the memory.
Yeah, that is insane high.
Yeah.
I don't think there's any video card that can get close to it, even the custom PCBs.
No, and that will mean, of course, a bandwidth of 936 gigabyte per second.
Yeah.
Yes.
That is absolutely insane for the 3090 card. But in the presentation it says that the 3090 is going to replace the Titan and not the 2080 Ti.
Well, replace, possibly if you say replace.
Or at least it will be the successor for the Titan.
A replacement, I think, would be a little bit wrong word to use, because the Titan was always in between the Quadro cards and the GeForce card, and like a hybrid in between.
But in this presentation they don't talk about the Quadro cards at all.
No, they don't talk about the Quadro cards. No,
I don't think that the Quadro card comes even close to this. But I am curious if there is any kind of replacement for the Quadro cards.
It will be later on, of course, because we have the current generation Quadros are using the same Turing chipsets for the current, cards. So they use Turing. So I would imagine they will use Ampere as well when they come out as well, using Ampere. But obviously, Quadro cards will come out later on, of course, because for professionals and not for gamers. They announced later at a later stage. And I would imagine we will see even more video memory on those Quadro cards as well. I mean, even today we can see Quadro cards with 56 gigabyte of more video memory on a Quadro today for the Turing.
Right.
Quadro RTX 8000 or Quadro RTX 8000 is a good example of that.
Yeah. Yeah, I think that the Quadro cards are in a completely different ball game altogether compared to the GeForce series.
Yes, I mean it's not angled towards the normal users.
Yeah.
Those Quadro cards, not at all.
Yeah. That's
as I mentioned, it's meant for GPU computing and so on,
yeah, and
not for gamers.
And also for CAD use. You know,
for CAD as well,
yeah,
yes.
CAD, computer assisted drafting.
Yeah. So yeah, so those cards are not meant for us, and they're not a part of this demonstration as well at all.
Exactly. So yeah, that's a bit completely different from what GeForce is all about, I guess.
Yeah. So yeah, obviously the RTX 8000 is the Quadro RTX 8000 is the top end Quadro card available today, and they're using again, as I said, Turing, not Ampere.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
But talking about the 3090, right?
Yeah.
It will indeed replace the Titan in terms of the highest performing gaming video card. It replaces
yeah, they seem to be discarding the Titan name altogether from the 30 series forward, but I'm not.
Indeed, yeah.
That's what I expect, at least. With this kind of jump in technology, yeah.
I mean, even if you take a quick look at the Titan RTX built on Turing, existing generation, so the Titan RTX had 24 gigabyte of video memory, the same as the 3090.
Yeah.
So that's the same, but it comes delivered with 4,608 CUDA cores on the Titan RTX. And like I mentioned earlier, the RTX 3090 will have a little bit more than that.
Yeah, almost double.
Almost double. Well, it's more than doubled, actually.
Yeah.
It's more than doubled because the 4,600 plus 4,600 is not 10,000.
No.
No. So it's actually more than twice the amount of CUDA cores, and obviously more tensor cores as well.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a huge leap forward.
Indeed it is. Indeed it is. Yeah.
But bear in mind, of course, with all this extra performance comes added heat and added power requirement as well with each card.
Yeah, that's correct, because the power consumption for those cards is different for each card. But the 3090, I believe, they will take 350 watts.
TDP, yes.
Yeah.
Thermal design.
Yes, and the 3080, I believe it was 320.
That's correct.
And
320.
And the 3070 would be what was it? 220, I believe, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
At least on paper.
On paper, yes. And of course, you're talking again about the Founders Edition.
And this is indeed the Founders Edition, yes.
Yes. So yeah, for those that are having a build up where you have size requirements and power requirements, of course, then I would probably say 3070 would be a good card to start at. If you have limited space and cooling availability in your computer, so the entry point I would say would be 3070 to go there.
Yeah.
If you have a bigger chassis, of course, and a bigger power supply, 3080, of course.
Yeah.
To use.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as well, but
And like we mentioned, of course, for the Founders Edition, the cooling system is completely revamped and redesigned. In terms of the airflow in and out of the card itself, which you will see also in the presentation. And that is something we haven't seen before in the cooling system. Something new altogether.
No, this is a completely different design. Usually there is a backplate on the cards, but I believe with this the backplate is not really there anymore, but the cooling system is integrated into the card.
Yeah.
And from the design that I see in the presentation, it's also a very small PCB card.
The PCB card is very small indeed, and also was able to shrink the the die of the GPU itself. The GPU itself has become a bit smaller compared to the previous gen as well. But bear in mind, of course, for everyone that's gonna buy the RTX 3070, the 3070 will not have the same cooling as the 3080 and 3090 though.
No, that's what I also found out in the presentation, because of that small footprint.
Yes. So the 3070 will use a regular cooling system with 2 regular fans. That's in a normal fashion.
But still, the 3070 will outperform the 2080 Ti. That's awesome.
That is awesome indeed. Yes.
So I feel a bit sorry for the ones that bought the 2080 Ti in the last few months, in the last 2 months.
Indeed, so yes.
They should have. It was better for them to wait a bit longer.
And see what performance.
Less than third of the price you get the 3070, which outperforms the 2080 Ti.
Yes. And then of course the 3080 will outperform 2 times 2080 Ti. According to the presentation we see from NVIDIA. So they mentioned and that is performance in ray tracing, by the way, not base level performance, but it's ray tracing performance that we see that is 2 to 1 for the 3080 compared to the 2080 Ti. So twice the performance. And again, 3090, we shouldn't even talk about that. It will most likely be 3 times or almost 4 times as fast to the Ti, roughly. But then again, of course, the 3090 is not angled towards the 2080 Ti. They're not equal in any way. It's not even measured against the 2080 Ti, like I mentioned before. So the 3090 is angled towards the Titan RTX, and of course, it will be outperforming the Titan card.
But that is still an amazing achievement, I believe, from NVIDIA.
Yes, indeed so. But bear in mind also, with this come, that you probably need to upgrade the screen if you're going to use it. Probably need to have a high frequency screen as well with high refresh rate to be able to use those cards properly.
But I do have a screen that has 240 hertz, so that should not be a problem for me, at least. But I don't think you have a second screen yet, so.
No, I don't. I'm just using my regular laptop as my gaming setup at the moment from Republic of Gamers. I use Republic of Gamers, so I don't have it. But you mentioned, a gaming screen. Yes. For me, I would be looking at a G-Sync specified gaming screen to use. And I would most likely look at the range 34, 38 wide at the very least. And I would say 4K or ish, 4K or above, or 4K equivalent resolution on the screen on that one to connect. for future proving. Of course, 8K, it's still, way out there, and only available if you buy the 3090, of course.
Yeah. Well, at least well, 8K is already available. You can definitely get that going, but according to this presentation, you can actually, with the 3090, you can actually get an 8K screen that actually runs at that same resolution and play at 60 FPS.
Yes.
Or at least even more, I believe.
Yeah. So NVIDIA certified for the 3090, of course, demonstrated for gamers to play natively at 8K resolution at 60 frames per second, 60 FPS, without lag or stuttering, which is an incredible achievement to play at resolution.
Indeed, it is. So I'm very happy with NVIDIA at the moment, and I'm looking forward to more business from them.
Indeed so, and in the coming months, I would imagine they would start to release also information about the mobile chipset as well.
Yeah.
They usually come at a later stage, as has always been, that the mobile chipset will come at a later stage.
Yeah, that's also something that I wish to talk about, because what kind of laptops can we expect from NVIDIA, or at least with the NVIDIA 30 series card?
So I would imagine that we will see a similar lineup for the 3000 series, like we did with the previous Pascal. That the initial release will see the 3070, 3080, and possibly something 3060 perhaps, as well for the mobile cards. So the end card or top card will not be similar to 3090 because it wouldn't fit in a laptop format. So there's a 3090, I think, will be out of scope for laptops, in my opinion, and I think the top end card would be the 3080 for laptop.
And the 3070, of course, also in the lineup.
And I would imagine also the unreleased 3060 or equivalent as well.
The unreleased 3060 is still a mystery, because that has not been officially released yet.
No, it hasn't been released yet, but
or have been confirmed to be on the dais.
No, not yet. But if we're gonna go with history, so with the Turing card, of course, they released the 2060 and the 2070 and the 2080 for mobile computers or laptop computers. So obviously the entry point for the RTX range for laptops at that point was indeed the 2060 video card, and then came the 2070 and the top end card 2080 for mobile users, and it stopped right there with the 2080 as well for laptop users. And I would imagine we'll see something similar now with Ampere as well, that the end card will be indeed the 3080 and of course the 3070, and then the unreleased and unannounced 3060-ish. I would imagine for laptop.
Right. Okay. That's basically what I expect as well, but I don't think that will be announced this year, and I expect that will be somewhere in the next year, in 2021.
Yes, I think we'll see that in the first quarter 2021 announcement for the mobile chipset. I would say in the first 3 months of next year, there will be an announcement from NVIDIA confirming the mobile versions of those card as well. It's always a bit of delay in between the release date from the desktop card, and then of course a couple of months later you have the release set for the mobile versions of them coming out.
That's usually the way it goes.
And I would imagine we'll then at that point see versions from the bigger manufacturers. We're talking about Asus, we're talking about MSI, we're talking Razer, we're talking Dell, of course, Alienware, and of course the third-party manufacturers as well, Origin Computer, so on, that build on order, that they will also have the 3000 series video card available at that stage, with different price point, different versions of them as well. And I would imagine they will be connected to an Intel CPU, like always, some kind of Intel mobile CPU, desktop or not, remains to be seen. And of course, some type of NVMe SSD drives as well. And of course, the high frequency gaming screen as well. I mean, we already seen the Alienware have 300 hertz 17-inch screen now for the gaming laptops.
Yes, I've seen some of them walk by. Yes.
Yeah. So we're going to see more of that as well for the gaming section for laptop as well, with a high frequency screen for laptops. See more of that. But that will be interesting to see in the coming months for what they will do for mobile users as well that want to be gaming on the run, so to speak.
Yeah, that's basically my interest as well, and I'm curious about that too, because it's very interesting to know what is going to happen in that kind of situation.
Yes. Indeed.
What type of laptops? What is the design? What is the footprint? And how is the cooling on those laptops? And yeah, basically what features, what screen panels will be used to get all of the features up and running? Will there be
OLED or
yes? Will there be an
IPS?
OLED or a standard TFT screen, etc., etc.?
Yeah.
It's going to be a very interesting end of year and also next year.
Indeed, so it's going to be a lot of news coming out from NVIDIA going forward.
Yeah.
Indeed, so it will be exciting to follow, see what's happened.
Yeah.
And of course, it will be interesting to see also how many cards will be out there for gamers to buy now when they have released it this month.
Yeah.
For the 3080 and the 3090,
Mm-hmm.
and see the availability of those cards.
Yes.
How easy will it be to get them? Because look at previous history, some card was really hard to get to as well. If the previous releases of cards, they were very short in stock and so on, and it was really hard to get to them.
That's true.
Once released.
Yeah. I've seen that too. But
so
yeah,
I would urge all buyers to keep your eyes peeled on your stores and vendors located near to you, and see if and when they drop in.
Yes, definitely. And on that note, I would like to end this session with this discussion, and I would say I'm looking forward to the new cards and the new gameplay and the new games that are going to be released with the 30 series in mind. And yeah, that's it for me at this time, and I would say good night and have a good evening. And what do you say?
Likewise, and be aware, keep your eyes peeled for the new cards when they're coming out.
Yes,
indeed.
Definitely.
And I'll catch you later.
Thanks, Hexy.
Thank you. Take care.
No problem.